It's here. Pocket Health A to Z. Pocket Health A to Z is a handy little nutritional guide. When it comes to vitamins and minerals, Pocket Health makes it easy and simple for you by giving you the food sources and the nutritional benefits of those vitamins and minerals that we need for good health. Plus, Pocket Health provides added information that you will find beneficial. Don't wait. Pick up a copy of Pocket Health A to Z today and choose to feel your best.
Peace, family. I hope all is well. I hope your Saturday night, evening, morning, wherever you're at. I hope, hell, it might be Sunday where you're at. I know currently in Salone, it is Sunday. In Nigeria, it is Sunday. But listen, wherever you're at, I hope you are having a great day or great night, or you had a great day or a great night. Do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button again. Please hit the like button. Also, make sure you share. And make sure you subscribe. If you are not a subscriber, I need you to hit that subscription button, that notification bell. I need you to come and join the In Search of a Huru family. I will greatly appreciate it. Again, I will greatly appreciate it. A couple of announcements before we get started. We're going to continue on this Niger. You guys know what I mean. We're going to continue on this this situation, this coup, because it has the implications as far as not just Africa but globally. I mean, are a lot, and especially with France. We all know France would be. In fact, let me see if I can find this video real quick before I get into the announcement. Let me try to find this video. Let me try to pull up this video. Oh, where is it? Oh man, where is it at? I gotta find it. But I don't know if you guys have seen the guy who was traveling through Paris, and he's like, it's dirty as hell. Paris is overrated, which I've been saying for a while. And I want to be respectful. I don't want to be disrespectful. I want to be respectful. But in my honest opinion, Paris is overrated. It's dirty. I mean, it's I don't know. It's an overrated city to visit. The food is overrated. I mean, listen, they have like this, this Michelin chef, that's the measurement of if you are a top restaurant, or if you're a top restaurant, the cream of the crop are the Michelin rated restaurants. But let me tell you something. I could take you right now to a village in Senegal where a lady would just have a big ass pot on an open fire, and her food would taste better than any of that Michelin star chef cuisine. I could take you right now to Senegal, to a village in Senegal, and the food is off the chain. Again, the food is off the chain. But let's see. Let's jump into these announcements. Announcement number 1, tours. We are rolling to Benin for the Voodoo Festival. Again, Benin for the Voodoo Festival. Please visit Danfo, DANFO. You say you want some authentic French fries? Go to McDonald's. Visit Danfo, DANFO. Again, Danfo, DANFO. .Africa to learn more. Click travel. Click Benin. We have 6 spots left. Again, we have about 6 spots left. If you're interested in joining us in Benin for the Voodoo Festival, please go to Danfo, DANFO.Africa to learn more. We will love to have you. Again, please visit Danfo, DANFO.Africa to learn more about Benin. If you have not bought the documentary, In Search of Uhuru, please go to searchforuhuru.com. Again, please go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. This is the #1 documentary on the planet. Again, please go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. With that being said, let's jump to today's topic. Niger is telling the French ambassador to get the hell out of Niger. And the French are pretty much saying, you don't have the authority to do that. Literally, the French told them that you do not have the authority to tell our ambassador to get out. This is what they're saying. So I wonder how that's going to play out. Like, so you tell you have a country, you're a sovereign country, and you tell, the ambassador, hey, you got to get the hell on. And they tell you, no, we're not going nowhere. Now you have a standoff. And as far as ECOWAS, I think the ECOWAS military is on call now. My honest opinion is all smoke and mirrors. I do not believe that ECOWAS, specifically Nigeria, is that dumb to pull the trigger in invading Niger. I don't think they are. Because we all know that northern Nigeria and Niger, they're the same people. And I do not see the military, which is predominantly Hassan Fulani, I do not see them pointing the guns at their own people, even though separate countries. I do not see them pointing their weapons at their fellow tribesmen. So that's not going to happen. It will be suicide and a terrible decision, terrible strategy on Nigeria's end if Tinubu were to decide to invade. Niger. It will be a disaster, complete disaster, terrible strategy, and it will backfire. My honest opinion, it will backfire. And also Burkina Faso, Mali, they already said if ECOWAS decides to invade Niger, that they're going to get involved. That aggression will not be tolerated at all. So we'll see how that plays out. We will see how that plays out. Like I said, I don't think it's going to go that far. I don't think it's going to go that far. What do you guys think? You think the ECOWAS is going to put boots on the ground? Do you think they're going to put boots on the ground? I don't think so.
In a dramatic escalation.
But let's play this clip real quick. And then I'll open up the lines here in a minute, guys. Give me let me play this clip, then I'll put the link in the chat room. You guys can call in.
Of diplomatic tensions, Niger's junta has taken a bold step by ordering the departure of the French ambassador from the country within 48 hours. This stunning development was unveiled through an official press release issued by Niger's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation on Friday, sending shockwaves across international corridors. The junta's decision to revoke the accreditation of French Ambassador Sylvain Et has been attributed to a series of actions deemed contradictory to Niger's national interests, underscoring the severity of the situation. The junta's decision follows the French ambassador's alleged dismissal of an invitation from Niger's Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation, an action that has fueled tensions between the two nations. Along with France, the German and Nigerian ambassadors have been issued an ultimatum mirroring that directed at the French ambassador. This significant move, requiring their departure from the nation within 48 hours, has injected a new layer of complexity into the already tense diplomatic landscape. Separate letters were served to their respective governments, with each letter mentioning that they were expelling the envoys because they didn't reply to an invitation for a meeting on Friday from the ministry. The letters also stated that there were other actions taken by their governments that went against Niger's interests. The junta's decision to extend this ultimatum beyond the French envoy comes as a response to the mounting apprehension surrounding the impending actions of the West African bloc ECOWAS. The bloc's veiled threat of military intervention to rectify the recent coup in Niger has sent shockwaves throughout the region and beyond. In a swift response, the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs delivered a resolute message on Friday night, firmly rejecting the junta's demand. The ministry's statement emphasized that the military government lacks the authority to issue orders for the withdrawal of French diplomats from the nation. This stance, as reported by AFP, underscores the gravity of the situation and the widening divide between the junta and France. Initial reports indicated that the U.S. ambassador had received a similar request to depart. However, Niger's foreign ministry later clarified to the U.S. government that the letters circulating online, which called for specific American diplomatic personnel to leave, were not officially issued by the ministry. A spokesperson from the U.S. State Department confirmed, saying that no such request had been made to the U.S. government. France's significant presence in Niger, housing 1,500 soldiers, has played a crucial role in supporting President Bazoum's efforts against the persistent jihadist forces that have posed a threat to the country for an extended period. Similarly, the United States has maintained a presence with approximately 1,000 military personnel within the nation's borders. Earlier on Friday, the West African bloc ECOWAS urged Niger's coup leaders to rethink their position and emphasize the need for a return to civilian rule. They made it clear that the option of using force was still on the table. While the generals behind the coup proposed a 3-year transition period, ECOWAS demanded an immediate return to constitutional order. As delegations continue to travel to Niamey, ECOWAS reiterated its focus on negotiations. Meanwhile, defense chiefs are getting ready for a potential legitimate use of force to restore democracy if necessary. This situation emphasizes the ongoing diplomatic efforts and the potential for significant actions to ensure the stability and democratic governance of the region. As the situation in Niger unfolds, it raises crucial questions about the implications of the ultimatum issued to expel the French ambassador. How might this diplomatic tension impact the relationship between the two?
Go ahead, Wilford.
Oh, I'm online. Hi. Sorry.
Hey, how are you?
First of all, I have to say I can't speak too loud because I'm at work, closing the door, and I don't want to wake patients up because it's 2 in the morning here in Germany. So
Okay.
just so that you know. But first of all, I'd like to tell you, Dinus, that I told you, right, in previous shows,
You did. That is
that what's happening would happen.
right.
I don't want to be that guy, but
No, so what?
I
So
still have to.
what's the next domino to fall?
Well, to be honest, the last time I was on your show fighting with two Niger, I said that after Burkina Faso, Mali, and Guinea, there was a couple of countries that would also proceed to make a revolution. And I quoted Niger, I remember, Cote d'Ivoire, and Senegal. But to be honest, I would never have thought that Niger would be the next one. I would have thought that Senegal, regarding everything that's happening and that got worse since then, would be the next one.
Well, yeah. So you have the so with Senegal, Macky Sall, he said he's not going to seek a third term, but then he locked up his the opposition guy. What's the guy's
Ousmane
name?
Sonko.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Well, how I see things and how most of the geopolitical analysts in the French-speaking world see the situation in Senegal is that Macky Sall is basically trying to first prevent any political figure in his own party to emerge and to basically run for his party in the next election in 2024. And also, I don't know if you follow what's going on in Senegal, but there are two candidates that were allowed to run instead of Ousmane Sonko to opposition, right? Candidates that are Karim Wade, who's the son of one of the oldest Senegalese president, was basically ousted by Macky Sall, right? Because he wanted to make a third term too, right? And the other guy is named Khalifa Sall, right? And these two were basically allowed now to run, and Ousmane Sonko, however, was not. Sorry. So the hypothesis here is that Macky Sall wants to do what Alassane Ouattara did. It means that he's gonna basically maybe in the last minute let someone come out in his own party and pressure this guy to basically abandon and say that hey, it is a case of force majeure, and I have to run now because there is no candidate for my party. Or the two other candidates who were all of a sudden allowed to run are very probably candidates that France allowed to run. So it doesn't look good for Senegal.
How do you think the what's next in your honest opinion? So do you think Senegal's? I don't see Senegal. I think Senegal's too stable to, even though they've had their uprisings and their issues. I don't think Senegal's going to experience a coup.
The thing is, but I have no proof to say that. The problem with Senegal is that also it has to be said that there are two kind of coups, right? There are revolutionary coups and there are reactionary coups, right? What you saw in Guinea is not clear. But in Burkina Faso and in Mali, these are revolutionary coups, right? So it means they were made for the good of the people, in the interest of the people, right? While what you had in Burkina Faso, for instance, in the first place, with the first coup led by Henri Sandaogo Damiba, it was a reactionary coup. The guy came into power, and then he wasn't clear about what his position was regarding neocolonialism. And very quickly, it appears that this guy was a pawn of the France-Afrique. So he was ousted by a second coup led this time by Ibrahim Traoré, and it was this time a revolutionary coup. So in Senegal, I don't know. I think that France-Afrique is so good implanted there that if there is any military action to be done by to be done, there is a high probability that it could also be a reactionary coup. So yeah, but to be honest, as I said previously, I can't say which country is going to fall next. All I can say is that, well, within the next 5 years, it is only a question of time that for another country to fall. Now, if you ask me which country I would like to see fall, because I can't, there's the most I can do now.
I'm going to guess Cote d'Ivoire.
Oh yeah, oh man, I'd like to see Alassane Ouattara fall so bad. So I wish he would be the next one. But hey, The thing is, I can't say because Niger was really unexpected to the point where even though the French army and Secret Service and the Americans, right, Secret Service were in the country, literally next to the palace, they didn't see it coming, right? So who knows? Maybe Senegal would be the next, or another less significant country, so to speak, like Benin or maybe I don't know Togo. Yeah, could be next. But hey,
All right, cool.
but I'd like to I don't know to Niger. Are you here? Because I'd like to have your take on this, sir.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he'll join us shortly. I don't know. But guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, if you disagree with Wilfred, please click on the link and call in.
Yeah, I must say, if I go all of a sudden, have had to leave, it is because there's something with the patient. Just
yeah, because you're at
to let
work.
you
I
know.
get it. Yeah, you're at work. I get it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, guys, click on the link if you want to call in. If not, we will close out. But the topic is Nigeria is telling the French ambassador, who has an embassy in the country, to get the hell out.
The problem is, do you know what happened? Basically,
What
the French government refused to.
Right, exactly. Said we don't recognize the junta, or the so-called junta, in quotation marks, in the junta, so we're not going.
I mean, yeah. What am I supposed to say? Basically, I'm French, for those who don't know, of African descent. But I have no problem to talk about the France Afrique, right? And this is typical from for the reason why you see what you're seeing in Africa right now, right? Because France, the government, is basically supporting and has no problem having contact with lots of African governments, for instance, Cameroon, where I come from originally, who are the worst type of governments you can imagine when it comes to democracy, right? They're not democratic. But still, they don't say anything to them because they work for the France Afrique. But all of a sudden, now that Niger is basically having a revolutionary government, all of a sudden, they're fronting. I can't see, however, how the situation can evolve in the good sense. And what I'm basically afraid of is to see people radicalized to the point where they could eventually, and I really hope it doesn't happen. That's what I'm fearing. I hope that people are going to stay clear in mind and not attack French citizens, right? But the way it looks, if Macron wants to flex his muscle like the way he's doing, it's not. I mean, it's not going to look good. And if you think about this situation, for instance, the Americans, right? Well, your government basically didn't that has not yet called the new government a junta. He still called it. I think he called it a military government, right? Because according to the American law, I think that you cannot recognize a junta and you can't make any business with them, right?
Right.
So the American have another approach that is more pragmatic. I think that if ECOWAS doesn't attack, and I'm not sure whether they're going to attack because
They're not gonna. I don't think they will. I don't think. I don't think they will. It doesn't make sense.
well, then the American, it seems, are going to try to preserve their interest in the region. I mean, they have officially, right, recognized, well, officially, at least 2 drone bases. And I think that a German papers used to prove that they also had a secret CIA base somewhere in the north of Niger. So I'm not a member of Secret Service or whatever, but if it was proven that the American had one other secret base somewhere in the desert in northern Niger, it wouldn't surprise me that they have actually even more hidden interest that we're never going to hear about, but then trying to protect. Because I think that I find they're extremely careful when it comes to the Nigerian government. So yeah, that's what I could say about this. Oh, by the way, Dynast, what do you think about what your president Ahmed Ebola Tinubu is doing about the situation? I mean, you have to take accountability for the fact that it is your president, right? The same way that Emmanuel Macron is my president, Tinubu is your president. So what do you have to say?
No. So I think so. Tinubu just came out with a statement. I was reading it before I went live, that he's trying to, I guess, not. Now he's saying he's not for the ECOWAS putting boots on the ground in Nigeria. That's what he. That's what he's saying. Yeah. So he's talking about having more diplomatic, ways to, engage the in quotation marks the junta. That's what he's claiming. But because like I said, it'll be. Because like I said, in northern Nigeria, that's they're the same people as Nigeria. Like it's. Yeah, so
these guys used to belong to literally to the same ancient kingdom.
Say that again.
I said these guys used to literally belong to the same ancient kingdom. I think it was Sokoto, the Caliphate.
Yeah.
And to this day, they are still under at least the spiritual ruling of the Caliph of Sokoto. And this guy, if I'm not mistaken, even took part in the negotiation talks. So I don't know how. I don't know, but I was just curious about what you think about Tinubu. I don't want to have problem though, because I know you're making business there. So all I said about Tinubu is only on me.
He's the. I was Obi. That's who I wanted. So I was obedient. Tinubu's the president, but it's business as usual. I mean, well, you have the whole gas subsidy situation that's going on in Nigeria right now. That's what the people of Nigeria are more concerned with, the gas subsidy that was removed. So fuel costs have skyrocketed in Nigeria. Yeah.
By the way, the other thing that I would like to say also is that one of the reasons why I think that there could be, unfortunately, a military intervention, it is not because of Nigeria, but it is because of all these francophone democratures. I don't know if the word also exists in English, right? These are dictatorships with the appearance of democracy, right? And the one who is pushing in the background, especially for this, is Alassane Ouattara from Côte d'Ivoire.
Of course. Whatever. Why has over the years, ever since the end of colonialism, or so-called colonialism, the Côte d'Ivoire, they've have just served the best interests of France. Like that's France, West Africa, Côte d'Ivoire. Whatever France says do, they do. Like why is that?
I think it is because of historical reasons. The first president of Côte d'Ivoire was named Félix Houphouët-Boigny, and he was the biggest sellout you could ever imagine to have as a head of state, right? And this guy made basically the bidding of France, the whole region. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that this guy was, for instance, in a way or another, involved in the death of Thomas Sankara. So he can tell you how much of a sellout this guy was. And basically, there are lots of French interest in Côte d'Ivoire, right? I was never there, but everyone who I know who used to be there can tell you that if you go to Abidjan, that is basically the facade of this country, there is French interest everywhere. Just for the anecdotes, the French politician Marine Le Pen, right? She has a niece named Marion Maréchal Le Pen, and she's also in politics. And it was a few years ago, she said that she was taking a break from politics, right? Do you know where she went?
Côte d'Ivoire.
Absolutely. Because her father, who happened to be as racist as she is, still has businesses in Côte d'Ivoire. You know what I mean? So it's just to show you what Côte d'Ivoire is, unfortunately, right? And the reason why Ivorians are not basically as vehement as Malians or Burkinabe, for instance? Is it because they used to be oppressed so bad in the last years, right? And especially under Alassane Ouattara, that these guys basically gave up, right? But I think that what's going on, what's on the what's on stake right now, it's the fact that if Niger falls, and I think to me it's already done because the population stands behind the revolutionary coup. Basically, what's going on that the other head of states that are not legitimate, right? Legitimate. I don't know what's the English for that. Legitimate. Legitimate, right? They're basically fearing for their powers because this meeting from ECOWAS was ridiculous in Accra, right? I mean, look at the pictures. You have Alassane Ouattara, who was basically installed by force by the French army. It was back in 2010 on 11, right? You had so if he was the representing Côte d'Ivoire. So this guy, right, who was basically never elected, who violated his own constitution to make a third term, and who is looking for making a fourth one, this guy is now going to Niger in order to try to restore a guy who was democratically elected in conditions that are basically not democratic, right? You had next to him Faure Gnassingbé from Togo, who is the son of a dictator installed by France-Afrique, who himself came to the power by force, and who is now making his fourth term by also changing his constitution to do so. And the list goes on and on and on, right? And the problem is that this guy, looking at what went on in Burkina Faso, in Mali, Guinea, is not clear what's going on over there, but still, basically, Mamadi Doumbouya was also trained by CIA, and it seems that he turned against his masters, right? And he's still trying basically to not upset the West too much, but still Mamadi Doumbouya is also going to the revolutionary way, right? For instance, if Mamadi Doumbouya didn't open the ports of Guinea to prevent Mali from starving when ECOWAS put an embargo on Mali in 2022, it was done with Mali, right? So it shows you that Guinea, it's not clear what's going on there. But I mean, the point is, after the coups in Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, and now Niger, right? The whole Sahel region is basically breaking out with France-Afrique. And what's going on is that especially in the Francophone countries, right? These guys are in panic mode because they know they're next. But there's nothing they can do. Because let's be honest, if you would allow people in Ivory Coast, in Senegal, right, in Togo, in Benin to do the same, they would do it. Even in Nigeria. And I think that's the reason why Tinubu backed down. Because if I'm not mistaken, when the Nigerian Senate voted against the military intervention, 90% of the senators was against, and they said that they refused, if I'm not mistaken, right, to go to war against a brother country for foreign interest, right? So when you have your own population against the population from the whole West African region against this military intervention, when you have your own politician and your own armies being reluctant to go to war, that's for instance the information coming from Ivory Coast. The militaries over there doesn't want to go there, right? They don't want to go and kill their own people. In that climate, right, when you're illegitimate, there's a high chance that you're next. And I hope and I think that it's only a question of time until Alassane Ouattara and Macky Sall are going to fall down. Because in Senegal, looking at what's going on, I don't think that the next election turn is going to be peaceful. So that's what I have to say.
All right, cool. So, and with that being said, we'll go ahead and close out. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Peace.